Hey, GLP-1 plus sides community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better. And my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper. With results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster. Confidence higher. Price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Welcome to the Plus Sides Podcast. How you doing? How's it going, Kat?
It's all right. It's going well.
Yeah. Guess what? It's Friday. And we're doing a fun episode for everybody today, a special episode. And but first we got to do our intros. Good news, Kat and I have been practicing and we got it down to 3 minutes. So if you're new here, listen. If you're old, if you're an OG, this is your cutest fast forward, okay? Because we got to do our thing. I'm Kim. This is the Plus Sides Podcast. I'm Carlos, Plus Sides. And we are a education and advocacy podcast all about metabolic disease. And so we have on patients that deal with metabolic disease as well as doctors. So patients so that you know you're not alone and doctors so you understand that it's not your fault, that it's a disease. I have been on these medicines for 3.5 years and I have lost 110 pounds and I bounce around within 10 pounds because perimenopause sucks. And guess what? It's common for you to have some regain. And we talk about that here and why that is. And
it's not a magic pill.
No. And like what to do about it and how to adjust and, you know, just all these different things because this is a community. This is a chronic disease. We're always going to need each other. So it's important that you guys always have somewhere to come back to. And that's what Kat and I wanted to create. So that's what we do here. Okay. But I want to ask Kat who she is and what she does and why she's here and all that. Tell me, Kat.
I am. I'm Kat. I'm Kat Carter. Mrs. MRS Cat Carter on the IGs and Cat Carter 7 on the TikToks. If you care to find me and follow me, I too have lost. Finally, I hit the 100 club this in 2025. Kim and I have both well, right now we're on the same medication, but been on the Tirzepatide for 3 years. And I learned that you don't have to keep it secret. You don't have to take your shot in the dark. In the corner. You don't have to do that.
I just imagined a whole campaign now that you said that.
Table that, and we'll talk about it after the episode.
I know, right?
Take your shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
All about shame. Oh my God.
Coffee is flowing. Yep. Anyway, so I'm really excited to talk to our guest because I like to do the fitness stuff. I have gotten Kim into moving. Yeah. And I started running again too. I really am excited. I have been a fluffy fitty at 320 and now 219, 220. So it's fit has no size. And contrary to a lot of people that may have this misconception, and I'm going to be done get off this soapbox at this point. We don't just sit on our behinds and drink protein shakes and take a shot. We put in the work. All right. And I know a lot of them will say, well, you have to change your diet. You have to change your lifestyle. And I say, well, poo-poo, we are doing that. So
I also say that statistically, no, you don't. Statistically, you just have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight.
I know.
I'm just saying, so I think that a lot of people, though, they make this assumption that you have to be on a diet to lose weight. And yet there's all these people all the time. I'm about to go on a tangent. I'm reeling it back in.
We're bring it back in. We had a conversation today, and that's where it came from.
That's where it came from.
Listen, we eat our carrots, we eat our apples, and we take walks.
And we have our protein.
Yeah. All right.
Listen,
we don't have to earn this medication.
No, you don't.
Except for having a job. All right. So let's get
that part. Okay.
Things going.
So today is going to be different. So, and you guys have probably experienced with this before. Sometimes we have on certain people that have just certain stories that we just think we want to expand upon, and it's meant for us to, for it to feel like more of a fireside chat and a roundtable discussion. And Kat will share some of her experiences. I'll share some of my experiences personally, as well as ones that we know from other people that have been on the show before. And it just sort of helps people connect things and have stuff come together. And so that's what everything's meant to do today. But there is a campaign going on right now with Row, which Row, as you guys know, Row is one of our sponsors. And we love them. We've worked with them for quite a long time now. And we love what they're trying to do within the obesity community and what they're trying to do within breaking the stigma that's around this. And so we have aligned with them a long time ago when we love them. And they're doing a campaign right now called Healthier with Row. And and I'm going to make sure that all that information is in the show notes for you so that you can look at it. But it's fantastic. I can't wait for you to see it. But it's important because something I've been saying, you guys know, probably since I would say the second year, but it took me a good year to figure it out. This is not a weight loss journey. This is not a weight loss journey. This is a journey to become the healthiest you that you can be. Okay. And that is going to look different for everybody's body because everybody's body is different. Okay. So it's important for us to get away from this whole stigma of weight loss shots. Okay. And that's what we do here. So we're so glad to have you. Our intro was a little longer. Sorry for the squirrel. We did also have technical difficulties. We do love you. Let's get started.
Still shorter than most.
That's right.
All right.
Welcome in, Hannah. How you doing?
Hello. I am so excited to chat with you ladies tonight and
we're excited.
Share in our stories and, what this means for us.
Yes. We're so glad to have you. And this is the first time we've been able to meet and we connected from Row, which is wonderful. And what we want to know, and this is how Kat and I usually do, because I know you watch the show. We are chatty Cathys and Kat and I are kind of people with interruptees. So we want to give you your space to start off the conversation and kick off the conversation to just tell us about your journey, right? What it's been like with weight from the beginning of whenever this began for you, right? The beginning of you, whatever it was, so that people can kind of understand, because it's important for people to be able to relate, right? That's
Absolutely.
a big part of healing. I asked my husband recently, I was like, I don't want to talk about weight loss. I go, should I talk about weight loss? I'm in a big body. And he goes, your content's not about weight loss. It's about healing. And it is. And so that's what we want to make sure we let everybody know about all of it, because a lot comes with this journey, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is just let you take the space. Okay. Unfiltered, uncut, and Kat and I are going to just chill out, and we'll come back in. Okay.
Awesome.
Zip it.
Zip it. Okay, I'm Hannah Nylander Asplin. I'm a Roe patient and affiliate, so I've been able to share some little bits of my journey, and I'm so thrilled to chat with you guys today about it. I have struggled with obesity my entire life, like from age 0 through 33. It has been a long time, lifetime struggle. In third grade, I guess, I moved to where I'm at now and started a new school, and my nickname was Hannah the Hippo. That was my identity, was being the biggest one in the room. And so along with that, you get the pressure of, you're different because you're bigger, and you can't do these things because you're bigger. And then now that I've been able to sustain weight loss, you start noticing like the world treats you differently because you're bigger too. So it's like this whole cycle of how you feel about yourself, how others feel about you, and then how society treats you. It's a really hard thing to live in and to experience. And now people see me and they're like, oh, you're fit and da da da. It's like, I am now, but now does not encompass my entire life. And so I'm excited to share this. And, I was obese starting in elementary school, and I was heavier all through middle school and high school. I even starting in high school was already looking at weight loss options. So, meal plans, food delivery services, the protein shakes. Did that in college as well, and straight up had one of the gals that was selling me this product say that it wasn't working because I wasn't trying hard enough. And that is just like a gut punch, because of course you're trying hard enough. Like, you're giving everything that you have to want to feel your best, because you don't feel good when you're 260, 270 pounds. It's not comfortable. It's not an enjoyable existence. And so, navigating through that, my heaviest, I was 260 plus pounds. I never actually weighed myself at my highest weight, so that's a good guess. And I've total lost 130 pounds. So I'm also in the 100 club. Let's go. We love it. And the biggest struggle for me through all of this was long-term sustainable weight loss. That was something that I could continue to do. Like, I would lose a little bit of weight and then lose steam, and then it felt like it was my fault, or like I was failing, and then try something else, and then you gain a little bit back, or you gain a lot back, and then you lose a little bit. And so it's just this vicious roller coaster, and it's so hard to go through because it's this mental struggle and it's this physical struggle, and then it's like, why am I flawed? Like, what is wrong with me that I can't lose this weight and keep it off? When I was at my highest weight, I actually went to Mexico and had gastric sleeve surgery. We love the US healthcare system. My insurance wouldn't cover it, so I went to Mexico. I had a great experience, but again, this comes back to this being a metabolic disorder. It didn't fix the underlying issue. It's not a stomach size issue, which is what gastric sleeve surgery works on. Is it reduces the size of your stomach, and I lost some weight, but it stalled because that's not fixing the problem. So I've been on tirzepatide now for coming up on 2 years. With Roe, I've lost 75 pounds, and I've been able to maintain that weight loss for over a year and 4 months now. And so to be able to go through this journey, have the weight loss, and then sustain it, it's been absolutely unreal. And I think a key piece of that for me was activity, being outside, being active. Started off with walking. I have a dog, so he needs exercise. And I was like, I just am going to commit to a daily walk. And so we would do that. And then it was like, I kind of want to try a 5K. Like, Ro is giving me help with eating and making sure I'm feeling right. And this food noise is going away, which I definitely want to explore more. The food noise is such a trip. I was getting the effort from the drugs themselves. So being able to actually listen to my hunger cues. When am I hungry? When am I full? When have I eaten enough? Being able to actually feel those hunger cues and listen to your body, it was an adjustment period. And so I was going through all of this and I was like, well, let's put in another piece of the puzzle. And I started a Couch to 5K and absolutely loved it. And I ran my first 5K. That would have been 2 years ago in March. And since then, I've just kind of been a freak about it. And I just love running. So I finished my first marathon in October, the Twin Cities Marathon up here in Minneapolis. So 26.2 miles. And I saw a sign on the trail, on the path, whatever, that it said, "This is your victory lap." And I held on to that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my victory lap, a victory for my body, a victory for this journey, a victory for my future. Like, it was just kind of an incredible moment. And so you can see some of that content on my landing page with Ro if you're interested. And so, yeah, that's a quick and dirty version of how we got here.
When you say Minneapolis, and depending on the audience, when people are old enough,
Yeah.
I always want to say it like Janet Jackson does in Escapade. You guys ready? Minneapolis! All right, I'm done.
Minneapolis!
Kat is
Hannah knows it.
Kat is our pop culture queen. She has a reference for everything. And
I mean, look at the vinyls. Let's go. It's beautiful.
That's my husband's vinyls. Yeah, we're music nerds. So yeah.
Love it.
She did radio for a long time. So she just always has something. And most of the time I don't know the reference. And then she just looks at me like I'm stupid. Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size Podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus-sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus-sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46, and it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
I'm with you, Kim. I mean, like, yes.
Yes.
I will shake my head and nod and pretend
you know
like
what?
I know what's happening.
So that's one of my goals because I'm a big Prince fan. So we already had this discussion before we started to record that I'm in Minneapolis. I haven't been in Minneapolis for a little while, but I go there often. I went there when he was alive. Anyway, my goal is to find the original where the studio was where Janet Jackson did Control and Rhythm Nation. It's somewhere in the city.
Oh, okay.
I think like it's a bank now, but
Oh,
I want to go find where Flight Time Studios was.
You know,
that's
you
a
could
worthy
find a whole-
adventure.
Yeah, it is. You could
Do what
maybe
now?
you could do the marathon too. You could find out what the marathon is, make it a whole thing.
Stop giving me excuses to travel. I am always down to go to Minneapolis. All right.
All right. So I would love to know if you're open to some questions. Is that
Yep,
okay?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Also, are you open to me sharing some things with you that you may not know that I've learned from doctors on the show?
Please. Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure,
100,000,000%.
because there are things that have
100,000.
like helped me a lot, and others.
Yeah.
And if you don't know them, I want to make sure that you know them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Ro so much, because it's not like people are like,
Yeah.
oh, telehealth. Like there's this gross stigma around telehealth. And it's like Ro saved my life.
Rosemary.
And
Yeah.
they have so much literature on what's normal, what to expect,
Yeah.
you know, general timeframes. It's peer-reviewed literature is available for you. So
Yeah.
and I was a marine biologist in a past life. So
Oh yeah.
I'm a nerd at heart.
I love it.
I love nerds. We all nerd out in our
I
own
mean,
way.
we're all a nerd in some sort
We
of
are.
way.
We really are.
I'm like an obesity nerd, and I'm also like
Yeah.
a cybersecurity nerd. So like, go figure. I don't know. And I also have AI psychosis. This is new.
It's a little scary. I think it's normal to
very
be a little
scary,
freaked
but-
out. It's like, is this
Mhm.
iRobot coming to life?
I know, right? Anyway, squirrel. Also, I don't know if you know on the show, Kat and I we both have ADHD, so we tend to kind of squirrel sometimes. So bear with us.
It's the only way to live life.
All right, you know. But what I'd love to know a little bit about, so I know you're talking about growing up and struggling, and then getting surgery. Personally, I had a very similar experience. I ended up getting surgery when I was 27, but what I got was called lap band surgery, because they sort of, it had just gotten approved, like insurance was covering it. The whole thing was you can take it out, because I was young. The whole idea was like, oh, well, you know, you can take it out so you can have have children and all this other stuff that you want to do like later in life. Yep. And so that was kind of how they pitched it to me and sold it to me. And I had it for up until 2 years ago. I still had it. I had it all this time. And then when I the difference is, though, like with what you're talking about, like with the size of the stomach and changing that, is that with lap band, I learned this from a bariatric surgeon, so I'll share it with you. It doesn't, it doesn't reroute anything in your body. It's just a band, like it's an external thing, and then they take it out. If they do, they should at this point. So it doesn't change anything metabolically. But when we had on Dr. Rosen on one of our shows, he's a bariatric surgeon, like I was mentioning, and it was like really early on, and we were kind of understanding how this all connects. And he was saying that when they first did bariatric surgery, when they were doing it in hospitals, they were having people that were diabetic come and get bariatric surgery. I do believe it was gastric. It was like
gastric bypass.
The whole thing, gastric bypass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was saying that they were noticing that these people were in a like level of remission with their type 2 diabetes before they left the hospital, having lost very little, if any, weight at all. And they were like, why is that happening? Why is that happening? And it was because GLP-1 exists at the end of your intestine. Okay. And so when they were rerouting and taking it and putting it up to the top, it was releasing GLP-1.
That's crazy.
We'll find that episode for you. I forgot what number it is. And
that episode is called Fat and Lazy on purpose.
It is Fat and Lazy.
Oh,
I was
my
going to call it. I
gosh.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. So he was like, so when they started to realize that, they were like, how do we reverse engineer this?
Yes. Oh my
Right?
gosh. I love it. I love
How do
that.
we trick the body, right, into thinking this? Because what happens is when you have surgery, like you were mentioning, you only lose so much. You still have a set weight that they're working with. Not everybody gets to goal weight, and half of the people that haven't regain weight. Like,
and that's what I was
like, and it is because the GLP-1 starts to go down. That's one of the, there's lots of reasons, right? But that's one of the reasons. And it's because the body is constantly like tweaking like a thermostat, right? To get you to regain your weight.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
It's so fascinating. And just how the body functions. Like
Isn't that crazy?
it's
Yeah.
like I've had some people say, well, we don't know the long-term effects of GLP-1s. It's like, well, I kind of do though. Like these have been around
They
for
do. A
over
long
a
time.
decade, a
30
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Like in market over a decade, but like 20
Yes.
plus years of data. They've been studying for a really long time. Yeah.
Right. Like this is not new
No.
stuff.
And it's
But
usually, and
also
when they're like, oh, but they were studying that on diabetics. Most of those diabetics had obesity.
yeah.
Like, hello. So, but people don't know, and they just
Right.
kind of blow it off. But truthfully, that's like, I love these data points because they're like so helpful to like put things, in
Right.
reality.
Yeah.
But I just think that like what you were saying, and I heard you say, like, it doesn't fix it. And you're right, because nothing fixes it because it's a chronic disease.
It's a chronic disease.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that is such an important realization. Like, this is not cheating. Like, this whole thing is like, oh, you're cheating. It's like, cheating who? Cheating what?
Yeah.
Like,
Cheating death? Yes, I am.
yeah,
Thank
I'm
you very
cheating
much.
death. I'm
Yes.
cheating a very unhappy, unhealthy existence
Yes.
by advocating for myself. Like, how about
Yeah.
you go cheats on some video game and then we can talk?
Yeah, exactly.
Cheat codes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I wanted to
it's
ask
really
you,
social.
I've always been curious about how the experience of getting bariatric surgery in Mexico is.
Oh yeah, tell us that.
I had a great experience.
You got a lot of
All of
people.
it. Share it all. Whatever you want to share.
Oh, I have no filter. I've been told before that I have no filter, and some people don't like it, and I can't care. So, I went to endobariatric right on the edge of Mexico in Texas. So I lived in Houston at the time, right outside of Houston. So it was not a very far drive. It was only a few hours, and it's literally right across the border from Eagle Pass. And so you obviously bring your passport, drive through Eagle Pass. The bariatric surgery center is like a mile or so from the border. So it's very close. It's built specifically for US patients because they're aware that they have,
It's economics. Yeah.
yeah. And because my insurance wouldn't cover it, it was out of pocket, but it was at such an affordable cost that it was like, this is the only option if I want to do this. And at that point, I'm desperate. It's like the plans aren't working, the counting's not working. It's not an effort thing. Like this is an actual problem.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the next natural progression for me. And the build, it's actually quite genius how they engineered this building. So the first floor is like the welcome center, testing where you get your blood test and all that. The second floor is the recovery center. The third floor is the surgery floor. And then the fourth floor is like a literal hotel where they put you up the night before. So you get there, they put you up on the fourth floor. That night you do your blood testing and they do all the pre-ops. Then they take you down to the surgery floor, you do your surgery. And then once you're recovered from surgery, they roll you up to the third floor and then you start your recovery. So within a few hours, you're up and walking, and they have this loop integrated into the floor. You just walk loops and walk loops and walk loops just to help things move. And it's good to get the gases out. And then they have a competition on who has the biggest stomach, and you get like a little coin. I didn't win when they do the surgery. But the whole facility is just built around giving people gastric sleeve surgery.
Who is the biggest stomach in terms of before or after the surgery? Like what?
Depending on how much they cut out. So depending on how big your stomach is coming in and how much they take out, I actually have a picture of my stomach that they
I
took
find
out.
that wildly bizarre and interesting.
It is a fascinating experience. I had a great experience though. I felt very supported. It's an option for some people. It wasn't long-term for me. It helped me lose about 30 pounds. And then I started regaining it back again, and I freaked out because it's like the worst nightmare. Like at that time I wasn't aware of GLP-1s. And so I was like, I can't exist in a world that I'm 260, almost 300. I was creeping up on 300 pounds. And I was so unhappy. And so I had a great experience. It was laparoscopic.
Did everybody speak English?
Yeah.
There? Everybody spoke English?
Everyone spoke
What
English.
a brilliant business model it is.
Brilliant.
I'm going to go build state-of-the-art something right across the border and have everybody speak English and market to Americans. It's just brilliant.
And it's
the opportunity. It's the perfect opportunity. Yeah.
The surgeon has a satellite office in the States. So for patients that want to still use him, but they're in the States and their insurance works, he can fly to the States and perform the surgery. And if you don't, then he's got his facility right outside of Eagle Pass.
And I imagine
living the American dream without living in America.
I know.
Sometimes we have to do that, when we talk
brilliant.
about healthcare. The way healthcare is, But it sounds like
Mhm.
also if you have any like complications, he's got 2 offices, one in the States and
Oh,
one
yeah.
in
How did you
Mexico.
feel about that? About the
That's really
complications?
safe, right?
Mm.
I was maybe hopefully optimistic that nothing was
Yeah.
going to happen, but they had support. Like they didn't send you home until you were cleared. And they had people that also had hernia repairs, so those
Mhm.
patients ended up staying a little bit longer. But
Mhm.
while we were recovering, they do like 4 or 5 patients a day.
Yeah.
So there's like our little cohort that we met
Yeah.
the doctor and each other the night before,
Mm.
and then do our
How long
surgery.
were you there?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And then I drove myself there. So I'm driving myself home like on pain meds
That's
after 3 hours.
crazy.
And I made it halfway home and I was like, I can't do this. This is not I'm delusional to drive myself home after a fairly major.
How did
Wow.
you decide, like, which surgery to get? Like, between
Um,
sleeve or gastric bypass? Like, how did you decide?
yeah. So this was in 2021,
Mhm.
2021 after COVID.
Mhm.
Um, and at the time there was a lot of not so great literature about bypass because
Mhm.
they were saying that that's and more invasive than it needs to be. It's
Mhm.
not necessarily effective.
Yeah.
Gastric sleeve is more efficient and it's safer and all these things. And I was like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. And I had done a decent amount of research, but it just seemed like the best option for me. And I don't even think they were doing lap band anymore.
Oh, God. Yeah, they stopped.
So,
Mine slipped and flipped, so I had to have mine removed 2 years ago,
oh,
but yeah. I was like and, like, clearly my what I learned is that, like, my nervous system is keenly in tune with my stomach, probably 'cause I've had obesity forever, who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
well, the gut-brain axis is a
Like,
thing.
it's
So,
crazy. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But it's like I was profusely fainting, and I could not figure out what was going on. And yeah, I would just be like, "Womp," out, like, just out, and it was happening constantly, like, every day, several times a day. It was terrifying, and so but luckily, because I know all the doctors in the land, our friend Dr. Angelina, who's been on our show, is in Atlanta, and
Yeah.
is a surgeon, her husband's a surgeon, I went there, and they did an endoscopy to figure, out that it had slipped and that my band had flipped or had slipped and then our port had flipped and they were like, it's got to come out. And they worked with my insurance, got it
Wow.
approved, within a week, we had it out, which was great because I couldn't do anything because I was fainting
Right.
all the time. Like it was
Right.
horrible. So digress. It was not great. But I
Wow.
also don't regret getting the lap band because it did
Yeah.
help me lose a lot of weight. And it
Mhm.
did help me get to a weight where I could have a healthy pregnancy. And it did honestly help me keep a lot of it off for quite a while. It all
Yeah.
sort of gradually came back on.
Right.
10 pounds more every year. And then when I had my son, I had to have it deflated, which is just they pull out the liquid that's in it so that as your
Wow.
cervix grows, right, it pushes up on your stomach, and then I really didn't gain hardly any weight at all for him until my 3rd trimester. And then I just packed it on like this.
Right.
And then wonder why.
Yeah.
I tell Kat all the time, like I was obsessed. I also recognized that when I was pregnant, fun story, fun fact, squirrel fact, that I could eat gluten with no problems, when usually I would struggle considerably eating gluten. And I was like, I love biscuits. I'm Southern, And so I realized this my 3rd trimester. I was like,
Oh, no.
repercussions. So I was having a McDonald's biscuit every day, and a big Mountain Dew because I also had pica. So I was like chewing ice. It was crazy. This is my
Wow.
last trimester. I know it's
Pregnancy is such a wild thing.
so crazy. And so but it was funny because I asked my obesity doctor years later, I was like, it was so weird that I couldn't eat gluten or that I hadn't had any problems with gluten. He goes, actually, no, it isn't weird at all. He's like, you were pregnant. And so when you're pregnant, your body is doing everything it can to not attack you. So it's not trying to attack the baby.
So your immune system is totally suppressed. So the gluten's like, peace, let's go.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, that's so cool.
Problem is, I gained up a zillion pounds.
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
couldn't get it off.
It's
And then I
so
went to go get the lap band reinflated. And by this time, the lap bands were failing. So they were like a lot of people had them to fail. Doctors didn't want to touch them. They didn't want to take them out because they had people they were calling erosion. They were slipping. They were flipping. All these different things they kind of said were probably not going to ever happen.
That sounds awful.
Real bad. Some people were like unaliving. It wasn't good. It was bad. And so when I went to, but I didn't know any of this because I was oblivious and wasn't paying attention. And so then when I was trying to find a doctor that would see me, they were like, we're going to have to review your medical history to feel like if we think it's okay. And I'm like, but I need care. I have a lap band inside me. There's a medical device inside of me. And you're telling me that it's because they didn't want to take on the liability of it if it was really bad, So it took me forever, like months to try to find a doctor. Finally found one and he inflated it for me. I lost 30 pounds. That's it. And then I never could lose any more weight. If anything, I just was playing with that 30 pounds over and over again, lose, regain, and it was just awful. Like, so I've gone through the same thing. And it's like, just like you said, like when you have those, I mean, especially after surgery, when you have regain, and that's what I was going to ask you about, like, how was your shame when that happened?
Oh, it is absolutely. I mean, you are your own worst critic, but when it comes to living an obese body and that shame of like, this is literally my last resort and it's not working. Like I was just like, all the swear words, like I just, it was on the border of like a deep depression of being like, I'm just a failure. Like, this is my fault. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to, have all these things. And another thing too, that I don't want to lose sight of is this whole dialogue around worth. Right. And I'm totally jumping ship on the surgery topic, but
no, it's okay.
I feel like to myself, I'm my own worst critic, but like my family has been a staunch supporter of me forever. And so in this documentary that's on the Row website about my marathon and going through all of that and some of the non-physical changes that I've experienced, it's this joy and this happiness, and it's just like feeling good. And she's like, I really hope that you don't feel like we didn't love you when you were at any size. Like, we don't love you more now. We don't love you less. And it's like, no, I don't feel like that at all. But you don't feel good. You don't love yourself. You don't put your best foot forward. So it's hard to feel that when you yourself are feeling terrible. And then post-surgery, it's like, you see all these people succeed and all these pictures and and all these great stories. And it's like,
what am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong?
That's
what am I doing wrong?
Anyone that's listening has had the moment, surgery or no surgery, weight loss or whatever, where you feel like you're doing all the right things. Your body starts to fight you. And it's, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?
Why can't I like eat less? Why do I have to be so hungry? You know what I mean? Or like, why do I have this problem? It's
and it's not, it's like hunger that's like weaponized in your brain. Like, it's this weird, and I mean, I remember the food noise stuff is just absolutely psychotic. I would be at lunch with my friends or family, and before we would leave the table, I'd be like, what do you guys want for dinner? And they're like, what the hell? Like, we just ate. And I was like, yeah, but like, I'm thinking about food. Like, I would have food stashes in my desk, in my bed, like every place that I would be, I had food stashes because I had such weird food insecurity, like mental crazy. And so the whole experience is just.
Okay, so I'm curious, like food noise wise, did you feel food noise before surgery, and then did it disappear after surgery?
I had it before surgery. I had it after surgery. But I noticed that some foods, like this is me just being speculative with my body. Like, say I'll have a beer and sometimes I'll metabolize it normally. And this was like after surgery, before GLP-1s too. Sometimes it would take 3 or 4 hours and I would be sleeping and wake up and I'd be like heavily intoxicated. And so it's like this weird delay. And I've heard people that after gastric sleeve, they have intolerances to food that they didn't have before. Like eggs are kind of a big topic with gastric sleeve. And I'm wondering, like, I wonder if your stomach is like your tongue, where you have like different areas of receptors. And I don't know if that's been unmythified or whatever.
Oh no, let's find out. I'm putting on my
pen.
Put the pen in it.
Put the pin in it. But like, depending on what part of the stomach they cut out, does that then impact how you digest or your ability to ingest food or how your body functions? Because you're literally losing a massive chunk of your body. Like, it's like, okay, gone. And yes, the stomach can reinflate and that's, or
Mhm.
stretch back out, but you've lost all of those parts of your stomach. So I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how that has
I don't
impacted.
either.
But yeah, the food noise
Yeah.
is a wild experience. And now being on the other side of it, like I know in my shot days coming up because it starts to be like hee hee hee, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I see you, I know you're there. But now I have that, I can notice it. Like I know it's
Mhm.
there. And my very first day on GLP-1s, I had to hype myself up for like 2 or 3 days because I was so afraid to take the shot. So it was just sitting there in my fridge, and I'd be like, I see you and I need you, but I'm like a little scared. And so
Yeah.
I finally got up the courage. I played some T Swift. She got me there. I had some tunes going and I was like, okay, just do it. And it was like 8 or 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And by 2 in the afternoon, I looked up from my computer and I was like, I haven't thought about food. Like, what is this? What is this? I was like, Mom, it's working. And she's like, honey, that's a placebo. And I was like, I don't care. It's working. Like my first time in my life,
Yeah.
I wasn't obsessing about food.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that I was like, this is different. This is it. And then it just became, for me, it was fairly effortless. It was
Yeah.
make sure you're getting in enough calories and protein,
Yeah.
which with running is incredibly important.
Yeah.
But just eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. And for me, that has been a really great tool of just.
Isn't it crazy to think that there are people out there and that's just how they live?
And those are the ones that are like, oh, you're cheating. It's like,
I
you have
know.
no idea what I've been through. You
They
don't
have no idea.
understand.
It's
They
always
don't.
like I was referenced, like Oprah famously says, "You mean everybody doesn't obsess over potato chips?"
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
What
yeah.
do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
She's like, I thought everybody was thinking about food, but y'all aren't even thinking about it.
don't
Yeah.
even think about it.
I know.
Don't even think
That's
about it.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I
that
think,
was a huge
and you
realization.
were doing tirzepatide, right? Is that what we started on? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've just been on tirzepatide. I started on tirzepatide because at that time the literature was saying that your odds are to lose technically or generally more on tirzepatide. And I was so desperate. I was like, I just need, like, give me the big guns. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And that ended up being a really great fit for me. And I have
Yeah.
friends that have since joined Row and are on different medications, and that's working for them. So it's either
Yeah.
one, I think, is a great option for people. But
Yeah.
I've
I
had
think
really
it's
good success.
whatever one that you can afford to start, right?
That's
Like,
it.
right.
That's it.
And if they're about the
Agree.
same, probably go with tirzepatide, right?
Yep.
And then see how you do. Because I do have friends that like have the reverse effect. They do better on Ozempic. Sorry,
Yep.
Semaglutide. They do better on
Semaglutide.
than they do with tirzepatide.
Right.
And I think that we'll continue to see that with all the new medicines that are coming out.
Right.
So you got to goal weight, right?
I got to goal weight, and then I got
Yeah.
past goal weight.
Wow.
So my goal weight was, I was like, I'll never be 150.
Yeah.
And then I hit 150 and I was like,
Yeah.
And I'm 137 right now, or 127, sorry, 127.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I
You're
actually,
like a little pixie. What's
I'm
that
a little
like?
thing. It's wild. And like my family was concerned at some points. And I think I did. At one point I was running a lot. I was training for, I was going to try to run grandma's, which is earlier in the year. It's in June. And the Twin Cities Marathon is in October. So I purposely signed up for both, knowing that the Twin Cities would be my backup. And I was running 25, 30 miles a week, and I was not eating enough. And so you do have to learn that balance of when you're exercising that much, you have to eat. You have to get your protein in, you have to get your carbs in. And so I played that game with myself of like, okay, what do I need to be able to accomplish these goals?
Yeah.
And so I ended up deferring to the Twin Cities Marathon. But like my family's like, that I haven't seen in a while, they're like, Hannah? Like, is that you? They're like, yeah, it's this.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And there are sometimes, like, I look at pictures and you catch yourself in the mirror and you're like, nah, like that's not.
Well, I'm wondering, is the Hannah the size as Hannah is now? Does that Hannah exist like as an adult anywhere? Or was this like what you were when you were young, like as a kid?
Oh no, I've been bigger my whole life. Like
so,
even as a kid.
There is no skinny Hannah in existence.
Skinny Hannah has never existed. And I have a pair of jeans that I kept from college that were my goal jeans. I kept them, I moved them around the country for 10 years.
Wow.
And I put those babies on and they are so big on me now. It's like, I don't know what this feels like. So for me to be able to lose weight, feel so supported throughout the entire thing, and now to maintain it, that has just been an absolutely crazy experience because it's always been this
The,
psycho
the maintain
yo-yo.
part. Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
The
huge.
maintaining. We're doing a lot of stuff on
Yeah.
that now because that's hard. Like, so I would say not statistically, most people don't get to goal weight unless we've done something different, like surgery, right? Or additional interventions. On average, keep in mind, friends, I am saying, people come at me. I am saying, based on the study data and the data out there and expert doctors that come on the show, most people who have had obesity for a long time do not get to goal weight without additional interventions. So when Hannah talks about starting out with surgery and then going on GLP-1 and having her get her there, that is a very good example of how even surgery, right, wasn't quite enough because she had severe obesity and has had it most of her life. That is what the doctors say. I'm not making it up, I promise. But I think this is where, so like Kat and I lost, let's say 100 pounds, right? But we still live in big bodies. Now, Kat and I are also, we're like you. There's no skinny Kat. There's no skinny Kat.
Right, no.
We've always been tall and big, people. But like any size smaller than I am right now, really, or when I was at my smallest, so I'd say another 10 pounds down, was middle school Kim. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So there's no adult like version, and so like part of me that messes with my brain. Like I can't even, part of me wants to see what a skinny Kim would look like. I'm curious, even though I'm okay in my body now, but like you are skinny Hannah. So what does that feel like? Like
it is
going from knowing yourself as this plus size woman, right?
Yeah.
And I assume, and maybe this is a question for you. Was that ever part of your identity while you were trying to deal with this?
Oh gosh, yeah. I still do. I still struggle. And I think that's something that people who are in this journey or thinking about this journey or just experiencing life as a heavier person, that the mental side is going to be there. And that's my lifetime struggle. Like everybody has their struggles in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're visible, sometimes they're not. Me, it's my weight and my struggle with my mental health, with what that looks like. And I think the body dysmorphia for me, I do struggle with quite a bit because I still see myself in the mirror as 260, 270 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And so there's that disconnect of reality versus what you see yourself as. And that's just, I think, an artifact of having a metabolic disorder and the mental struggles of living in that existence. And I still struggle with that. It's like I'll go shopping and pick up a large or an extra large. And it's like I'm now a small or a medium.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to have that disparity of reality versus what my brain is telling me.
Yeah.
And so I am in therapy for that, plus a bunch of other things that life is life.
Therapy is the best.
Therapy has helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then I've also tried to be kind with myself. I've had, I've been within the same 5 pounds in 4 months, but if I do start creeping up a pound or two, it's not like, don't freak out. This is okay. Like maybe you had a cheeseburger and you're a little bit salty, drink some water, go for a walk. It's going to be fine. Like, and so also, I've definitely.
Because it's not about that pound, is it for you? It's about the next pound. That's what you're worried about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When that regain happens, it's not like the pound. It's one more pound and one more pound and one more pound. Like because we know what it feels like, right? Yeah. Because it is common.
It's very common.
Yeah.
And when I was at my heaviest, I was in denial because I wouldn't weigh myself because I knew. And I was like, I know I'm heavy, but I can't be that heavy. Huh? Like I was, because I had done the weighing every week thing.
Yeah.
And then I got to weighing every day, and then it got obsessive, and then it got unhelpful. And then I was just like, peace out. And that's when things really got out of control. So you have to build a relationship with your tools of measurement, whether that be a scale, whether that be a measuring tape, whether that be a pair of jeans. Like it doesn't have to be a number, it can be a feeling, but it's good to have those scales of measure of like,
I like that.
checking in
a
with
measuring
yourself.
tape or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
Yeah.
such a good tip. And I don't think I've heard anybody ever say your tools of measurement. I don't think I've heard anybody said that before. And I don't think that I've ever heard anybody think of using a garment as an example for a tool. That might be better for your mental health, right?
It for me, I had to, because I got so crazy with the scale. And
Yeah.
I have to say, your tool of measure can't be stretchy pants, because I tried that and it's not going to work.
It's got to be jeans or
So
something.
get
like
a pair of jeans, get a pair of slacks that has a button,
something without elastic, which is very hard to find.
minimal elastic is preferred. But for me, that was a very helpful metric. And then, the other part of this weight loss journey is I had to get a whole new wardrobe, and I'm like still coping with that.
Yeah. How did you deal with that? Like, how did you cope with like getting rid of your clothes? And were you thinking, because like, I don't know if Kat was like this. She just gave me all her stuff, but I put all my stuff in bags, and I couldn't give them away.
No,
because I knew they were my fat clothes and I was going to need them again.
Oh my gosh,
shows, right?
I just got rid of them. I had to get rid of them.
To me.
I'd gone through, we've definitely, I've lost a big amount of weight before, and I did not keep. Well, I did. I kept my big clothes, and I grew right back into them.
Every time. I've never gotten rid of any of it.
I've never gotten rid of them, and I have slowly been getting rid of clothes. I have. I'm very lucky. I have a guest room in my house. My closet has 3 bins full of my larger clothes, just in case. And I need to just like rip the Band-Aid off and be like, it's okay if it happens, but it's not going to happen. Like I am in such a healthy part of my existence right now that I know that if, I need to adjust my dosage, I can do that. Like you can gauge where you need to be to maintain. And that's been really key for me. But I still have about, I'd say 80% of my wardrobe is in my house.
Wow.
Have you gotten to the point of where like your shoes? So I had my feet swelled so much, and my width was wider than, I still have a wide width. I still got duck feet, but I had to give away a lot of shoes this last time.
Yes. I had like I was a 10 at one point. I'm a straight 9 now. Like I went from 10 to 9.5. And with running shoes, like I've turned into a running shoe collector. Just based on the type of run that I'm doing. Like, am I doing a slow, long run? Am I doing a speed run? Am I doing just a race? Like you can get real wild with running shoes.
That's what Kat tells me. She just bought me my first pair for Christmas.
What pair are you using?
Let's talk about it.
You know what? I'm gonna derail you not derail. It's about your running shoes.
Oh, okay.
That's on topic then. Do you use Spenco insoles in your shoes?
No, but maybe I should.
Kat got me some. I've got them right there. They're supposed to help with the stinkiness.
Ooh, I should definitely try that.
Mine say odor resistant.
Oh wow, that's
the ones you got me are.
So why do I have this up here? I don't know why, but I have a pair of shoes up here. But see, I used to work at Ladies Foot Locker. That's how old I am. But if your high technical shoes, like your running shoes, your aerobics or whatever you use, take the piece of paper insole that's already in it, and then put this in. Make sure they're both brand new.
Oh, I love it.
Cool.
This gives you so much more cushion.
Nice.
And it'll save your joints.
I think that's definitely good
podiatrists. My podiatrist recommends these. I remember once I went to a podiatrist and he said, I don't know where Dr. Scholl's has such a corner on the market, but because it's trash. Use
Dr. Scholl's, don't sue us. Sue the doctor. He said it.
The doctor said it.
Sue the podiatrist. But I said to myself, like, wait a minute. I spent $200 on these foot doctor visits, and all I had to do was buy what I've already been buying.
Yep.
Because I was wearing flats. Don't wear flats.
Don't wear flats.
Let's talk about what in the world possessed you to start running, because you were running in a big body, right?
I was running in a big body. Yeah.
I'm in a big body, and I was possessed to run recently, and I would like to tell you about that. But first, I want to hear what in the world did that come from?
Yes. So I have had this weird obsession with running a marathon for a large portion of my life, mostly my adult life. And so a friend and I are all into Boston marathon.
Mhm.
And I've had this dream of running Boston, and I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, so this was Boston Marathon 2024, 2024,
Okay.
2023. Oh my gosh, one of them. I think it was 2024.
I
Yeah,
understand.
2024.
Hmm.
I can't keep track of years
I get
anymore.
it. I get
They're
it.
all merging together. And so I was like, you know what? At this point, I had been on the meds for a couple of months and feeling great, losing weight very rapidly. And I was like, okay, so the meds are doing their part. I wanted to try to do something else. I was like, I used to lift a lot and I wasn't really feeling motivated and not wanting to lift. So I was like, let me just try running.
Mhm.
And watched the Boston Marathon and was just like on fire about it. And so I was like, do we want to sign up for a marathon? So we're like, okay, let's try to get into Boston. Of course, that's not going to happen. And so I was like, okay, let's just start somewhere. And so I did a couch to 5K, and Minnesota actually is very, relative, because I don't know any other states, but to me,
Yeah.
living here, it seems like there's a lot of options for races. There's a few organizations that host pretty much monthly races all year round, and they're reoccurring, and so you can do them over again. And so I've now done 2 or 3 of the same race with the same, in the same place.
Hmm.
Since I started, but I did a couch to 5K. It started off, I used Runna, which is an app,
Mhm.
and you can tell it what your goal is. If you're just starting, it'll get you on a couch to 5K. And then as you're running, it tracks how you're pacing. So it can adjust your future runs based on your current pace, which I
That's a
love.
great app.
It's a
Okay.
really great app. So I used Runna, did a couch to 5K, and it's like, it's in your ear telling you, run for 15
Yep.
seconds. And then it'll be like, walk for a minute, run again. And then it'll be like, slow down, you're going really fast, or
Oh,
speed
that's so
up if you want
cool.
to maintain this pace. That helped me so much because I didn't have to think about it. All I had to do was open the app and hit play, and it would talk me through the workout. So it took that like executive dysfunction that I have of like starting something.
Oh,
If it's a lot, if it's a
ADHD.
heavy, yeah,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it's a heavy lift for me to get
Yeah.
started, I the likelihood of me sticking with it is
Hmm.
not as high as it than if it's like
Yeah.
hey, here's your weekly plan, here's your 8-week plan, here's your 16-week plan. You can see the whole thing, you can adjust it, you can change
Mhm.
the days that you want to run. I am a big fan of Runna. So I
Cool.
started with that and I remember running my first mile, and
Mm.
I was literally in tears. Like, I ran it, I didn't stop. It was like speed at this point, still for me, speed is irrelevant. It's just
Yeah.
how do you feel?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And
Agreed. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I felt amazing. Like the runner's high for me, I
It's
started
a real
getting
thing.
pretty early.
Yeah.
And so my endorphins were just like having a party. And I was like, okay. And then I ran my first 5K in Stillwater, not knowing that it was super hilly. It was a very hilly route for my first 5K. So I was like, well, that's
Ooh.
rude. Like, I need a redo. And so it kind of went from there, and did a few 5Ks, got into 10K. So if anyone is not familiar with kilometers, 5K is 3.1 miles, which is a very friendly introductory race.
Hmm.
It's a good challenge, but it's not something that's going to require fueling during it, or, excessive training in terms of lifting, or, supplemental training, cross training. 10K is 6.2 miles. So anything over about an hour, you're going to start wanting to look at fueling strategies. So inner run fueling. You got to replenish your glucose stores. Otherwise, you're going to hit the wall, the famous 20-mile wall.
Mm.
And so I started doing 10Ks, and I was like, well, okay, let's do a half marathon. So I did
Oh.
a half marathon, and then started to get really excited about inner run fueling, and then these longer runs. And over the summer when I was training for this marathon, I remember just like cranking out 10-mile runs, and I felt like I could fly. Like, my body was just killing it, and I felt so good. And then there are some runs that you got to go poop in the forest, and I lived through that. Like, it's going to happen on long runs.
It
It's a
happens on
whole
the
thing.
runs.
It
Yeah.
happens on the runs, and you just embrace it, and you're like,
So
well,
did you do a half marathon up to the marathon, or you just went
yes.
straight? Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of did baby steps. So I did a couple 5Ks, a couple 10Ks. I did 2 half marathons,
Mm.
and then deferred from grandma's to Twin Cities to give me that extra adjustment period with just making sure that I'm doing it healthy,
Hmm.
and my body's functioning well.
Mhm.
I did start doing some lifting as well with my knees. With
Good idea.
GLP-1s, I did lose quite a bit of muscle. And
Sure.
so I had to build muscle back to make sure that my joints are supported on these longer runs. And so just learning how my body adjusts. I mean, you're putting stress on your body through running. And so I had to learn how my body needs to recover. And so it's been a really beautiful journey for me, relearning my body through running. And I am forever thankful for that, because I started it in a bigger body. I know what that feels like. I've had the progression of increasing my running distance while losing weight, and now maintaining weight and running distances. I'm racing 6 more races this year, including Twin Cities Round 2 in October. So yeah.
Awesome.
Do you find that when the GLP-1s kind of clear the noise in your head, have you found a process of getting more connected to your body, or it clears things out so you can become even more one?
You know, with you mentioning that, I wonder if that's a piece that I was like, okay, well, why running? And I'm wondering now if not having that, like you can actually feel like a person, like the capacity for your brain to function is like 95% more without the food noise, because the food noise is just so darn loud all the time. So I'm wondering if with that being gone, I was like, hey, I have the capacity to take on something else, and that was running. And I have the capacity to do these things that I want to do. And for me, that's been a huge realization. And I mentioned this in the documentary. It's like I have the energy and the ability and the desire to do things that in a bigger body I just didn't want to do, or I couldn't do, or I didn't have the energy to do, or the motivation, or like all of these things that tie into your daily life. And it has been just utterly life-changing.
Yeah, the weight between the ears. Like,
there's
so much heaviness when you have obesity, right? Like there's so much,
literally and figuratively. Like it is just a heavy existence.
Down.
I ran a half marathon 20 years ago when I was in my 20s. I was heavier and I was deep in my eating disorder and everything. And I got to tell you, maybe I'll try. We were and it was a friend of mine, which we were both like fluffy fitties. We did not train that. We trained, but the diet part, there were days when I trained and I had binged the night before, the day before.
Oh, of course.
My feet were like concrete blocks. And the day that we ran, we were so stupid. We said, well, it burns more fat when you run on an empty stomach.
Oh, no.
Race day, 13 freaking miles.
13 miles.
By mile 10, we ran we did it at Myrtle Beach. It was the Rock and Roll Marathon.
I've heard great things about that race.
It was fun. It was very fun. I got to like a trot. I couldn't walk. I couldn't jog. It hurt. But I was daydreaming about strawberries and oranges. That's all I remember is like, I just want some fruit. Like I wanted glucose. And I was tempted to stop at the Dunkin' Donuts that I ran by. No, I didn't want a donut. I wanted to go inside and ask for sugar packets.
Wow.
Honestly, though, like people now are using maple syrup as their inner run fueling because it's like immediate. And I use the gel. Like some people use the gels. I'm a texture freak, and so I can't do it. So they have like cubes, like little blocks that I chew.
Wow.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating. It is between the shoes, between the feeling, between the outfits. That's your choose your own adventure. And I've got pretty hard on the outfit side. But
so to do a proper race, what do you start the morning with? What should I have consumed?
Yeah.
Besides water.
So for the marathon, if we're talking, so again, anything over an hour, really. So 10K plus. My 10K is a little over an hour, so I would enter fuel about halfway through. But the night before, you're going to want to carb load a little bit. And my favorite part of marathon training was realizing that one of the best carb load foods is Rice Krispie treats. Ooh. So I got a Costco-sized box of Rice Krispie treats. Yeah. So if you're running longer, you're going to want to fuel the night before, because that's just
home-style ones are the best ones.
Chocolate on them.
So good. So good. And then I
use GLP-1 or off GLP-1. Those are still
doesn't
good.
Matter. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
The morning of, especially if it's an early morning race. I'd have either oatmeal or toast, just something easy to digest. I am prone to GI upset in my running. I had to peel off at mile 17 and poop in the forest, and I had wet wipes with me because I knew it was going to happen. It's like I didn't make it to a porta potty, and nature calls, so you do what you gotta do.
Everybody poops. There's a book called
Everyone has a butthole, and mine just happened to need help at mile 17.
Right. And there's that notorious picture of that guy, unfortunately, of him losing it on himself, but he was running after numbers. And so he said, I'm just going to, if I have to go off somewhere and take care of business, I'm going to lose my numbers. Time. And so he ran, pooing himself. But yeah, it's very
I'm not that motivated.
I'd go poo first. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not chasing after a number. I don't want anyway.
I used to be a number chaser, so like it's a mentality,
It is.
You don't want it to run down your legs, and you stink. So
I don't.
That's not worth it to me.
It's not. Also, like as someone who lives in a big body and has stomach stuff, I have pooped my pants before, so it's not.
I have too.
I don't want to do it again. So yeah, nothing's worth it to me. I'm just gonna go in the forest.
We talk about pooping yourself.
The first time I pooped my pants, I made it a big deal, and I was actually in my car. I had run that morning. I did a long run that morning. Went to breakfast. Was on the way home, and I trusted it too much. And then I was like, "Oh my god, I just shit my pants in my car. I'm driving a porta potty. I'm in a cesspool. Like this is not good." And not taking pictures and telling everyone about it, and share the love. It happens. So that's part of running too. You learn what works. Some people can eat more complex foods in the morning. I am a very bland morning eater. And then bananas are usually always fun. Always the banana.
What about when you were starting in training? So like, when we do things like this, we like kind of weave in our stories. So I have always been what my mom. I've just been average at everything, like in terms of athleticism. And my mom goes, that means you're athletic, right? You were average at everything you ever did. That means you're athletic. And I was like, I did lots of that. Dance, like lots of stuff. Baseball, like all the things. But I was just average. I was in a big body. I was average, and I never really didn't like much of it, honestly, until I got to high school and I was on the flag line, and we would dance with flags on the football field.
I was on the flag line too.
Flag line, and I loved it. Because it was like art, and it was dancing, and it was wonderful exercise, and it was a community, and it was just like, that was my jam. But even then I was still in a big body. I was still size 14, but I loved it. And when we've been going on this journey, me and Kat, all I ever really did in the beginning, because I really tried this time to do it differently, because it was different for me in my head, right? Like I didn't want to diet culture the shit out of it,
right?
And get a gym outfit and gym membership and get on the diet. And all. I didn't do anything like that. I just started eating a little less and moving a little more, and everything for me was incremental. But I got to a point where I was like, I don't feel strong, and it was because I lost muscle too. To be clear, anyone that's listening, most people lose muscle on a weight loss journey when you're in a deficit, no matter how. The way to combat that is strength training, eating enough, and eating enough protein. Okay. So those are things that are important. It is not a GLP-1 thing, but because it's so easy not to eat enough on a GLP-1, and because you have to make those constant choices, right? Then it's easier to fall into that trap. So don't think eat your muscle. That's a common misconception. But I did have that happen, and I was feeling weak. And that is the last thing you want to feel on this journey. And so I went to Kat and I was like, what I need you to do? And she's like, let's do some strength training. So she taught me some things to do at home that were strength training, like with resistance bands and stuff like that. And I got a little bug. And then I was like, I'm going to walk. And then I went and walked every single day for months and months. I got hooked. Every day. I could not think straight. I would have crying fits while walking, because it was like, relief. I can't even explain it. It was just such and I would call her and I'd be like, I get better. And she's like, I know, I'm so glad you're here. Like, I'm so glad you're here now. Like she was like, I can't even tell you, like, I'm so happy. And then I just went through a mental slump recently, depression wise, and I got out of it. And then today was the first day where it was warm enough that I went out and walked, and I felt like myself again. But I remember during this time that I started getting faster. And then my husband came out and walked with me, and I was just like so far ahead of him. It made him feel kind of bad, but I was really far ahead of him. And I slowed down. I felt sort of annoyed, like, why aren't you
Tuck and roll.
you know,
Tuck
like that was not nice.
Tuck and roll.
and roll, sir. Roll down the hill. Tuck and roll.
And so I was like, oh, you know what? I was like, God, I've gotten really fast. And then one day I was walking home and I went, what if I ran?
Mm-hmm.
And I was on this hill incline, an incline that I used to have to walk up to take my son to the bus stop when we first moved here. And he was very little, right? That I would be breathing and panting just to get up to the top. And I ran. And when I ran, the feeling of it was childlike freedom.
Oh, it's childlike. It is. That's the best way to do it.
You feel like we had a friend, we met another running friend recently named Sandra. She's in Canada. She's a whole running thing. And what's Sandra's last name? Do you remember? I'm telling you because she's on the internet and you should know her. But she's got like a whole thing. She has like a getaway thing where all
Sandra, I'm finding you. I'm coming for you, Sandra.
No, it's Big Fit Girl Run. Hold on.
Yes, big. I get her, but she came on our show. This was like our first run. I was sort of telling her. She said that when she ran, she had like a coat that she put on her waist. Right. I want people to understand running more. That's why I'm talking about this. And when she put on her waist, and then one day she ran, and she's still in a big body, and she was like, I felt like a superhero, like because it was like a cape, right?
A cape.
Right. But there's something about that. There is something with running. I don't know what it taps into in our brain. Ooh, we need a doctor to talk about.
McCulloch.
It's the endorphin. It's the runner's high is a real.
What is the runner's high? Let's talk about what that is.
It's a real thing. It's the endorphin release that you get. So it's literally a chemical. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to add it in here. Big Fit _ run. Sandra McCulloch.
Okay.
Sandra McCulloch.
Sandra,
I'm connecting with Sandra.
You need to.
Okay. I'll put it in
she's
our
in
notes.
Canada, but she's got we want to join it. She's got a magazine. It's anyway.
Let's go.
The whole thing. But anyway,
we're squirreling hard. Anyway, she's fantastic. And but I love the way that she described it because it is like a superhero, right? Because it's like a cape. And I was like,
it's fun. Like you mentioned with going with like, you start noticing these little things where it's like, okay, and now I'm going a little faster, or like this hill that used to be really challenging, I'm going up it. So you see these like little things that are getting easier and more fun, or you challenge yourself in a different way. So it's not like the same thing. Like, yes, you're going for a walk, but or a run, but within that, there's all of these like fun little nugget challenges and successes. And sometimes you start, like, there have been days that I have a run and I'm just like, I feel absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And I know that my next run, I might not feel terrible. So it's like, you kind of have to be like, okay, well, why do I feel like that? It's like, oh, because I had 3 beers last night and my body's not very thrilled about it. And so you start, learning about what works and what doesn't, but it's those little wins. And like, it's just the best.
Isn't it cool though, that like the things that, and this is, I know Rose written stuff about this, but like, it's so cool. Like the level of freedom that you can get to where you are in charge, right? And then you're like, what do I want to do now with my life? That piece of it is the magic. Like when we're talking about magic pill, magic shot, that's the magic, because we've all done all the other stuff. It doesn't stick because it's a biological dysfunction disease, right? That piece of it, of being able to choose what life you want, like that is the thing that changes. That's why we have people on the internet talking about drugs. Like I'm like, at the end of the day, like the fact that we have people like me and like everybody that are on here talking about freaking drugs, like at the end of the day, like pharmaceuticals, it's because it's changing lives, right?
Yes. And I want people to hear that and recognize that and be like, this is not I need the culture of weight loss and obesity and making your own choices for your own life to not be this like gross thing that it is right now in society. It is, everyone has their challenges, and yours might not be needing a GLP-1 medication. Mine is. But now I can live the life that I want, and I can go garden. I love gardening. And in the past, in my heavier body, I was like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to garden. Or like, I don't want to wear shorts. I lived in Texas for 3 years and owned one pair of shorts because I was so embarrassed of my legs. And then I would chafe. And so I wore pants everywhere. So I'm not going to go outside and strain myself in pants because it's terribly uncomfortable. So it's just, it completely changes your life, not just physical. And that's something that I always tell people. It's like you see this telehealth company and you see these drugs, and there's this gross social stigma that that's some bad cabal of terrible things. And it is the absolute opposite of that. It is changing people's lives. It's improving health. It's, you know, comorbidities are going down. Overall health is going up. I mean, before I had gastric sleeve, I had an ovarian cyst burst. And so I had to go to the hospital.
Oh my God. That sounds so
and they didn't believe me that I had an ovarian cyst burst. And so they were like, we don't want to prescribe you pain medication. I was like, I'm not here searching for pain. I've literally never been to the ER.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Another podcast for another day.
Yeah. Whole other podcast. Pin that one in.
Pin that too.
Pin that. And I was like, will you please just do an MRI? And because something is wrong. And so they did an MRI and they're like, okay, we do see that there's fluid in your ovaries. You did burst a cyst, like that happened. But we're more concerned because your liver is 4 times the size that it should be because I was so obese.
Oh my gosh.
I had fatty liver disease at 26.
And they didn't know until you pushed them.
They didn't even care. Did not even care until I said, I'm not leaving here until you image me because something is wrong. And they're like, okay, the cyst is not concerning as much as it is that your liver is so enlarged because it's so fat.
Yeah.
And, visceral fat versus, all of these things. So it's just.
How is the fatty liver now that you've been on GLP-1s?
Oh, it's gone. It was gone. It's completely gone. My blood tests now are just amazing. And I did the blood test with Ro when I started, and I was pre-diabetic and had I was obese, I was pre-diabetic, and I had blood cursors for pre-diabetes.
Yeah.
And my blood tests now are so good. It's like
they were testing GLP-1s last year. I remember there was a clinical trial for it's the cirrhosis, but it's the fatty
liver cirrhosis.
It's a fatty liver.
NASH, I think.
It's not non-alcohol cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah.
That can develop into.
It was approved. I think it was approved.
You what now?
I think it was approved to treat fatty liver.
I think so. Yeah. Last year it was in clinical trials. So.
Yeah.
You love to hear that.
So while you're getting that treatment, you're
one
also
of them. I'm pretty sure it's Semaglutide.
It was Sema. I think it was Sema.
Yeah, it was approved for it, which is great. That's more indications because it's
we need them.
Covered. Yeah, we do. We do need them
because insurance.
Yep,
and insurance. Well, I think it just comes down to the fact that this is a chronic metabolic disease. It is a true disease. You wouldn't tell someone that has cancer that them getting medication for it is cheating.
Yep.
So why do we do that with obesity?
I know. And I'll tell you exactly why it is. It's because of the stigma. It's because people don't buy it. And why don't people buy it? Right. That's the thing to dig into deeper to normally, right? Is like, okay, people don't buy it's a disease. Why? Right. Because it's and usually, and I think that there's like different people, everybody has different opinions, right? Different experiences. But like, I think that people that are in thin bodies don't buy it because they're like, if I have to work hard, so do you.
So do you.
They don't understand that we do work hard. Right. But they think that because we work hard and then we stop because we continue to fail. And like, what are we doing? And our noise gets higher and higher and we're fighting it more and more. And then we have moments of weakness and then we're done. And then we're like, screw it. And then we end up starting again 6 months later. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the cycle for most of us. Right. I mean, some people shorter, some people longer, but that's usually how it goes, Mm-hmm. So they're like, but they are weak. They don't have willpower. Right. Because they can't stick to it and they're just lazy. Right.
And I've had people straight up tell me that.
People straight up say it. Oh yeah. People come in my comments and I used to get so pissed, Hannah. And now I just feel sorry for them.
Good. I'm glad that you've
and the reason I do is because I know it's about them, not about me. Right. And I think to myself, what kind of person must you be? One, to think that of somebody else, right? And
to walk out and to fix your face,
like,
to make it
have all of this data from all of these experts for 20 plus years that say this is true, but you know best.
Obviously.
And so I will get my super soapbox here too, because it was all my life. You know what? Because I've always been into fitness. I used to tell people, I dare you to come to class with me and try to not outsmoke me.
Yeah.
I'm 300 pounds. I'll smoke your ass in a spin class. Okay.
She
I'll
will.
fucking smoke your ass.
She will.
That's
I dare you.
amazing. I love
Right?
it so much.
I'll
Well, it's sad
fucking
too
smoke you.
because
But anyway, so
I
sorry, Dad, to Kim's dad.
Sorry, Dad. It was cat, not me, Dad. My dad asked me
And my content was like that all the time.
not
too.
to cuss on the internet anymore
I'll
until
do
he
it for
dies.
you.
So whenever I do it accidentally, I say, sorry, Dad. And now some of our friends have made it a drinking game, like where they drink water every time I say, sorry, Dad.
yes.
I know. So cat.
Sorry, Dad.
Thank you.
Water.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
My drink.
So it's funny too because having lived my whole life in a heavier body versus now living in a
Yeah.
non-heavy body, people treat you so differently.
What is that
And
like?
it is crazy. Like
Tell us
I'll,
like what's the contrast? Because I don't know it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I still live in a big
People-
body.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So for me, this is just my experience, so I don't
Yeah,
want to say that this is everyone,
But
but
we've heard
I
from
have
a lot.
noticed
Yeah.
that people smile at me, they make eye contact with me, they
Wow.
acknowledge that I am there. Like as a heavier body, I'd walk into a store and the people just wouldn't even acknowledge me. And now I walk in, they're like, "Hi, welcome in. Do you need help with anything?" And I don't know if that's just me picking up on it more, if it's actually a thing, but I've noticed that I get more attention when I am out and about in the world. People look at me, like make eye contact with me. And so I consciously do that to everyone, not regardless.
Yeah.
But like I see my fellow large person and it's like I see you. Like I wish that I could like zap into their brain and be like, I see you. I care about you. I see you out here putting the work in. I see you running the same trails that I do. And I just want to like hug them and be like, because I know what it feels like to run past a thin person and be like, "Oh, they don't understand it." It's like, "Girl, I got you. We're in this together."
You know what? On the inverse of that, sometimes I was just talking to somebody about this. Fitness,
Mhm.
fat fitty.
Mhm.
I never got back up to running. I would do like I was doing my C to 5K and just do my jogging spurts. I remember there were a few times when I would be jogging on a trail and somebody would come up to me and like give me a high five or cheer me on. And I was like, I mean, that's nice,
Yeah.
but this is not my first rodeo.
I know.
It felt condescending. Is that what it felt like?
A little bit. I was like,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna send the spirit of appreciation to you.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I mean, Sandra said that's one thing she said because she still lives in a big body. Our runner friend. She said that actually, and I asked her, I go, "What are people like to you?" Because my immediate assumption is you won't belong, and she's like, "No, it's very inclusive." They're running.
Yeah, most of them are like, yeah, people are very inclusive. Yeah,
with the running
you
community.
find your environments.
Yeah,
and if you are in a group that's not inclusive, you're in the wrong group. So
Agreed, 100%.
You know, they exist everywhere. You know, but I think it's interesting to know that the sport in general is very. You can run. You know what I mean? Like I love that. I can't think of another sport that's like that.
Just
Like
very all shapes and sizes.
You know what I mean? It's almost like, which is why I think a lot of people feel like they have to lose weight before they go to the gym because of that mentality. Like I don't belong in the gym because I'm not a gym girly. Like I think that exists in like diet culture, like how we think.
That's what I'm saying. I think people have been probably like just triggered, injured, damaged, just by somebody who is being a jerk.
Yes.
People that make awful assumptions.
Yeah.
And then it already takes a lot for you to get to go to the gym in a large body if you've never done it before. And it can be really traumatic.
It absolutely can be. And just general existence. Like I was on a plane and I remember I almost needed to get a seatbelt extender or like the look that people make when they realize that they have to sit next to you and you're bigger.
Yes.
That is absolutely mortifying.
It's
devastating. It's devastating. And I've been there where they see me and they just like they're like they don't.
I bought my own extenders. I bought a Southwest and a Delta one. They're still in my closet.
And you haven't gotten rid of them, kind of like the clothes.
Well, I don't want to give them away. I want to give them to somebody who like, I want to be kind. Like, I don't want to just throw, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just, no, because you go to Goodwill. No. I'll send it to somebody off ID.
Facebook Market. I do a lot of free.
Yeah.
Be careful. It's getting dangerous out there.
It is.
I will ship it to them for free. See? If anybody's listening, I'll send it to you for free.
Yeah.
We
Like
got
that, I
you.
think that's great
It's
because
so much embarrassment for me.
I did see Obesity Action Coalition recently posted that there was I want to say it's Southwest, was an airline that they said that they wouldn't necessarily reimburse you for your seatbelt extender anymore. It was like a new thing because I saw Obesity Action Coalition. I'm going to find out. I can't remember.
I'll find somebody. I will ship it to you.
I thought it was really shitty. Like, like, come on, you're saving a lot of money on friggin' fuel because we're all getting skinny. Could you just give us a fucking, sorry, Dad, seatbelt extender? Jeez, you're saving on fuel. We're paying for the daggone medicine. Jeez Louise. Heather Southwest, if you're the one, I hope I'm not like outing you and you're not the one.
I know. Like they're not listening.
Right.
They have bigger fish to
fry.
fry.
And I'm like busting Southwest.
Yeah.
That one. No, I always found that Southwest had, for me, the biggest girth seat.
In the seat? Oh, yeah.
Yes, for my butt. Yes, the biggest girth.
It is so cool to fly. Like Kat and I have had several times we've had to fly lately for advocacy things that we do. And it is so cool to have slack and a seatbelt. Like it's just like, and not have people staring at you and not want to sit next to you and know that you're gonna have to like have your leg in the aisle or whatever it is. Like it's just, or if you're the person that has the middle seat, like that there's so much shame in flying. I don't think
so much shame.
I remember like when you hear the grumbling of like the people sitting next to you and you know they're grumbling about you.
Oh yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm so the person these days because I can't help it. I'm my father's daughter. I can be very condescending about this stuff. It's just because I know so much and I don't like that people don't try harder to learn more. Right. And it bugs me. And so if anybody were to ever do that, like to me on a plane, I would never shy away. I would be like, do you want to talk about why I'm right and you're wrong? And I would go right into it. And I would. I'm like, people say all the time, like they say that they have these moments and I'm like, I'm waiting for it.
We need more of that energy.
I have 3.5 years of just interviewing experts, founders of this field about this. I am prepared for the debate. You know what I mean?
You don't even understand what door you've just opened.
I don't understand. I'm not the one you want to talk to.
I want to be on the plane when that happens.
I would. Can I sit on the other side?
That would be great. I'm going to be like, and I'll be like, so tell me, why do you feel that? Let's put a little pressure right there on that point. Like I will dig into it. I have been practicing my Oprah push the button for 3.5 years here. So I would do it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Please, somebody, if you see me on a plane, even if you agree with me, let's just do it.
Just sigh. Let's just do it really loud. And then like just dig your elbow a little further into that seat and let's chat about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let me tell you something
I can do to make you more comfortable. See, we're getting
You know what? And you know what? There was on the inverse. I just like to say this as well. There was a woman who made me feel she was so nice to me. Yeah. It was, we were in, they did not have an extender. They just told me to hold it when the plane took off. I'm not going to say the airline. I was with my husband and I almost burst into tears because it was just so embarrassing. But there was a lady who sat next to me. She's like, girl, you know, these seats were modeled after like 1945 soldiers. Yeah. They are the tiniest. First of all, they're like, their average height was about 5'8". She's like, it's not just you. Like they're made for really tiny people. So I was like, actually, I had it happen twice and I was in California. Californians, you're very nice.
We love you, Kelly.
Yeah. But yeah, she was so sweet to me. She's like, don't get bent out of shape. These were like, I think they said the airplane seats were based off of like 1945, like U.S. naval soldiers or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And of course,
when you talk about people looking at you now, I've had many people on the show. And I am one of them. I've been assaulted. And I think that I do notice people notice me more now. And a lot of that is because I'm on the internet a lot. And while it's nice being recognized for the work that I do, there is a certain amount of vulnerability there. How do you feel when people are looking at you like that all the time and they didn't before? Is it feeling?
Yeah, it can be uncomfortable for sure because I'm believe it or not, I'm fairly introverted. I have my moments, but I would say I'm an extroverted introvert. Like my
I get that.
primarily mode
Yep.
is introverted, and when I need to, I can be extroverted.
Yeah, that's how we are. Yeah.
But even in a professional standpoint, I feel like I'm taken more seriously in a thinner body because people are like, oh, she cares about, like, she's putting effort in. Like, there's this weird, like we talked about with the stigma of being obese. So therefore you don't try, or you don't care, or you're not willing to put in the hard work. It's like, that is so farther from the truth.
So far.
And like, I've been through some pretty severe PTSD in relationships, and part of that's my therapy. And I think, and again, this is just a very broad reflection on my life experience. I think I was willing to put up with so much crap in relationships because I didn't feel like I was worthy. I
The
didn't feel like I
nonsense.
was worth, yep. I did not feel like I was worth a healthy relationship. And so I put up with physical and mental abuse to the point that I, was almost unalived. And so nowadays I just started a new relationship. It's going very, very well. But my ability to put up with BS is much lower. Like you give me a bad look, or you say one bad comment, I'm like, done. Like, I don't put up with it because I know, I feel my worth now. Not that I wasn't worthy before, but I feel my worth and I act my worth. And I think that has changed how I allow people to treat me and how I allow people to interact with me, because I am my biggest advocate now. And before I was my worst critic.
Yeah.
And now I live my worth. Not that I wasn't worthy before, but yeah.
Healthier with Ro.
Right? Healthier on Ro. We're healthier on Ro.
I think the Obesity
You guys
Action
don't know
Coalition
about sorry, go ahead, Kat.
I think the Obesity Action Coalition put together some like numbers of like how like employment numbers can be skewed. Not skewed, but it's discriminatory. It's like a bias that people don't know that they have it against obesity. So the employment numbers can be also challenging when it comes to obesity.
I think it's fairly unconscious for most people. Like I
want to think so too.
I for most people, I do. But I do think that there's a certain amount of, it is difficult to, for example, negotiate a high salary, right? If you are having a hard time with your worth, right? And I think that when people struggle in a big body and they've been doing this for a long, long time, and no matter what they do, it's never worked. I've told Kat on several, or I talk on the show a lot about, like, before this, I'm not rich, but I'm middle class. I have a house, a car, family, friends. Like, you look at me and you're like, oh, like American dream, right? Like, you could look at me and be like, that's, but ultimately it never felt like enough, or I never felt like enough, because I couldn't control something as simple as my food and my weight, and that simple eats at you, and when all this happens with the weight loss and when it starts to work, like, there's so much work to do in that silence, right? Also so much power in it,
Oh, it's powerful. Yeah. Oh, so
that's
an interesting.
Do you feel like you become like meditative? And I think about like a power meditative when you're running.
Oh God, yeah.
What do you think about when you run? I'm curious. Like, this is a long time. You run a lot.
Well, sometimes I love my sister. She lives in Croatia, so we're in very different time zones. If anyone wants to visit Croatia, I have a hookup for you. They live in the Istrian Peninsula.
That's where Big Fit I Run, Sandra Mikulik does her.
She does it in Croatia? Is that where she does her meetup? See, they've got to meet. This is kismet. I love it. Okay.
I think
it's meant to be. It's meant to be. Yeah. I did a 12-mile run and she talked to me the entire time. Like, I have my Shocks headphones.
That's amazing.
And so she just entertained me the whole time. That's rare though. I usually run on my own. Like, I'm a solo runner. Yeah. And I just kind of let my mind wander. Like, I have my tunes kind of in the background, and I really like the Shocks, especially as a female runner. Because your ear is actually open. They're bone conducting headphones. So you can hear all the ambient noise around you. So I feel safer. Cool. And I do run on a state trail that's heavily wooded, lots of biker traffic, not as many runners. So it's like, my mom and I call it Dateline Trail because like, let me know if you're running on Dateline Trail. But I kind of let my mind wander. certainly embraced my 30s birder era. So I'm a big birder. And I think that's why I enjoy these
What's a
trails, because I'm
burger?
just like
Oh, like
I
watching birds?
watching birds.
I
I
love it.
just love birds.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy their existence. So I watch a lot of nature when I'm running. Otherwise it's just kind of like, I don't know if I have anything in particular that I run through. When things get hard, I have my mantras,
Yeah.
and like I'll talk out loud to myself sometimes, like, you got it, you can do this. Hell yeah. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry.
Um, but yeah, I think it kind of depends on the day, the type of the run. You know, if I've had a busy day at work, I'll sometimes just use that as a big stress relief, and I'll just
Yeah.
kind of replay through the day,
Yeah, I've
release
been
some
watching a lot of
thoughts,
stuff on,
and
like, burnout and, like,
yeah.
biology and stuff like that, and sort of, like, the mental health piece, especially
Mhm.
when we're creators on the internet and podcasters and digital and so much stuff. Our brain is now never has an opportunity to be bored, right?
Right.
Which means if you can't be bored, then oftentimes those kinds of thoughts and that types of meditation, all that, unless you're being very intentional about it, are not happening. So I think that there's a lot of peace with exercise where it's not necessarily listening to music. It is the silence. It is being
Yes.
yourself, right? Like, I think that is very powerful about, I think,
Yes.
like, running or walking or exercising in general, is it gives you that moment to where you're doing something, right?
Mhm.
But your brain is not. Like, and I think that could help a lot of us in this digital world / AI world. Like, just think about it, everybody. Just think about it. Kat and I are talking about doing couch to 5K. We've been talking about for a while. I'm gonna look into that app, and I'm gonna look into those
Oh,
headphones that you
please.
told us about.
Please
Yes,
do.
we will.
And when you pick one, let me know and I'll run it with you. Like, I tell
Okay.
anyone that's like, "Hey, I wanna
Let's
run," it's
run
like,
with
I will be
Hannah.
your running buddy. I will come and run that race with
Oh my
you
God, that'd be so
weekly.
fun.
Yeah, I love it. It's just
That'd be
been
great.
a really great community for me, and,
Oh, that's great.
um, yeah.
I love it.
Between row and running, I am
I'm running.
absolutely thriving.
Row and
Running on
running.
row. Running on row.
Running on row, you need a whole thing. See, we need a whole campaign.
Into that.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, you could.
Yeah,
Yes. You
yeah.
need to like a t-shirt, like, or a tank
Yeah.
to your next run. I'm
Running on
running on
row.
row.
I do have a hat that says I'm on row that I
Oh,
wear
I
all
do
the
too.
time.
It's in here.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
I love my I'm on
Yes.
row hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we've talked a long time and everybody's got to do things. So this has been a lovely conversation. Did you really think we were going to get to talk this long? I'm telling you, once you start digging into this deep
Once
stuff,
you
this
start,
is deep stuff, you
well, it
know?
is healing to
Yes.
commiserate with fellows that are have experienced the same thing, and like, you're not crazy to feel that way. You're not, there's nothing wrong with you.
Mm-mm.
You're not doing anything bad. You
No.
don't
At all.
deserve what you're
Mm-mm.
experiencing. Like, it's just really neat to be able to
Yeah.
connect with people that know what it's like. And, you know, people see you in one snapshot of your life,
Yeah.
and to be able to share this with people that, you know, they see me and they're like, ah, she has no clue. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but
I
I
know.
do.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
so well.
So, well, I'm so glad we were able to give you space so that you could break that down for everybody. Because
And thank you guys for what you do, and add like
love it.
the whole medicine side, and having doctors and peer-reviewed literature, and you guys know what you're talking about. Like, that's the type of effort that we need to move this stigma needle back the other way, of like,
Absolutely.
there should not be a stigma around obesity or GLP-1s or both, or,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
all of it. So I appreciate you guys
Absolutely. Like,
starting this platform.
we're so, I mean, and we was, guess it's been a little over a year now since we've been working with Ro, and we got to meet Z.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and just he came on the show, and just hearing his story, and knowing what Ro has done in terms of breaking the stigma around other things, right? We were like,
Yeah.
okay, because that's what Kat and I always wanted to do. We wanted to break the stigma, to change things. Like, it's always,
Yeah.
we always be a change agent.
Yes.
So we knew they were such a great partner for that, you know? So
Yeah.
we're so glad that you found them too. And everybody know that two things are about to happen. So we've got Healthier with Ro. That's a campaign that's going on. I'm going to put it in the show notes so you can check it out, and you can check out Hannah's story, and you can see her documentary that they did about it, which is fantastic. Okay. And then also, so I'll have two things. I'll have her special landing page, and then also where you can go and watch her documentary too, so that you can
And that's
see.
on the landing page. So if you get to the landing page, you'll see the documentary.
All right.
It has some highlights on my journey. And then I also have some co-row patients along with me on this journey,
Great.
healthier on row. So obviously you've seen Serena and Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
But we've got Greg and the Taylors, a couple from Atlanta that have both been on
that's right.
Roe. They
How
have
do we
yeah.
not know them?
You should probably know them.
I think
They're
we
in
should.
Atlanta?
Yes, they're in Atlanta.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to talk to them.
All right.
Yeah.
I will be talking with my Roe friends to tell me why don't we go to the Atlanta people, because we should meet them in person and do a whole thing.
They're wonderful. It's
Yeah.
a husband and wife with two young
Oh,
ones. So it's cool that Roe has prioritized telling these stories in all the different forms that they come in, because there is not one form for this journey.
Yeah.
The
And so
storytelling
they've
is
got
important.
we've got me on my running freakness.
Yeah, I
Greg is
love it.
also very active, but he's a guy. A lot of times you see this in a female perspective, so it's neat that they've incorporated his
Yeah.
side of the journey
Great.
and letting him tell his experience as a man.
Yeah.
And then the Taylors. So yeah, Deanna's great. She's a wonderful advocate for all of this. So
well, I think it's wonderful. I think having community around this is key, and understanding this as a better way to be the healthiest you is the way to go, because you may not be in a small body, and or you may need extra things to get to the smaller body, or you may, or to stay at a smaller body, you might need additional medicines or surgeries,
exactly.
whatever. So I think it's wonderful to bring, I think, because that's what everybody's going to think the minute they hit stalls, right? It's just like,
I'm not good enough. I'm not doing a good enough job. Yeah.
Here we go again, right? Thanks so much. It's been a lovely conversation. Friends, please go over and check out the documentary so you can see Hannah's documentary and support it, and support her. And if she has social links, we will also put them in the show notes so that you can follow her. And just know that you're not alone. It's not your fault, guys. It's not. So let's get better. Okay.
And get healthy with Roe.
If you want to get healthy with Roe, good news.
Or run with Roe.
/plus sides can help you do that. Okay. So thanks so much. We will see you next week. Hasta la pasta. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast, because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource, because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Roe, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Roe apart? Roe understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Roe, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Roe is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit roe.co/plussides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's roe.co/plussides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.